Hey folks, it's Vince the Evil DM here back at the table, trying something again new and a little bit different here when starting a series. Actually, I'm not really starting a series, it's continuing along in a series for Railguns and Dragons. The first episode I ever did of this play series, I did a 1E Palladium Fantasy character creation, where I went through the book on how to create a character. It was a lot of fun and had some good feedback on that. But now, after we're done with Heroes Unlimited, this is the new game we're starting to go through. Revised Edition, Palladium Role-Playing Fantasy First Edition. I enjoy this edition probably better than Second Edition, though I'm not starting any wars between anybody here. I'm not trying to insult people. I just enjoy the feel and the look of this edition versus Second Edition, which is more towards riffs, in my opinion. While I love riffs itself, I think this is more fantasy, in my opinion. This book is closer to what I guess traditional fantasy would look like if someone house ruled and made their own game. This was kind of based off of AD&D in a sense, and that's probably why I like it more, because I was always a big fan of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and this just basically takes that game and makes it like 1,000 times more interesting. The character process as we went through is very interesting. The book has its own skills and has classes, which are pretty much the same throughout the actual editions, but you have a bunch of classes, you have requirements, much like how you had in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. The world, I feel, for this game is wide open, and you have different elective tables with skills and everything on it, but the world is wide open. And I like the fact that it's wide open is in first edition when they really didn't have many books. They had some books, yes. I know I said that before, and then someone argued about how there was various books. There's Monsters and Animals, and there are some world books that they did create for this time period, but I do like that the world is wide open for a GM. If you look through it and read, if you just use this book and Monsters and Animals, you will have a wide open world to plan whatever you really want. You can add the world books into this game if you'd like, but you don't need them. You don't need them to play the game. You can just play the game with this and the Monsters and Animals book and have a great time when you do it. So you can just go basically to the world here. As you can see, there's our world map, and it's wide open as far as things are concerned. There's not much, if you just look at this book, that address the lands. In fact, this is the page on 1246 that tells you notes about the Palladium world, and a lot of it's wide open, giving you a chance to explore the lands and do whatever you want in these lands. And that's what I really, really like about this book. Now, as far as mechanics, it is your traditional D20 like almost all Palladium, and you add your bonuses and negatives as you attack, or you can parry. It's its own system. SDC is only on as far as creatures that have certain armor, or if you have armor. There is no personal SDC like it is later on in 2E or in Rifts and things like that. It just has SDC as far as armor, and you can repair that, adventure out. This is probably going to be such a fun game to play yet again, because I'm starting this for my group. Everybody's getting into it. I have a person playing possibly a knight, another one playing a summoner, another person playing a paladin and a wizard, and a healer class is the ones we're going to be playing in our campaign coming up very soon. So I'm getting into it, writing my notes out, mapping. I put something on my website, theevildm.com, that I started mapping out the opioid grasslands, because I felt that in this book entirely was very open as far as 1E is concerned. And yes, there are some information in the Western Empire and the North Hinterlands book. I can grab those and just look at that and see what they've done with the lands, but overall, I could basically do what I want. which is what I like about all these earlier edition games. The GM is entitled, well, the GM's entitled, but you could do that with any game. But there is so much openness that the GM could just take it and do whatever he wants with the game. That's what I like about these older games, that nothing is really fleshed out for you, so you can just put whatever you want in there. And obviously, you can do whatever you want, as in the company's not going to come to my house and say, hey, you can't do that. Any edition you can do that with. So, but I like games that give you the freedom to create and just play. I don't want to be told what's there exactly and how to play the game. I just want to play the game how I want to play the game. Sure, I'll follow the rules, but I want to be able to create my own stuff, do my own thing, and not break the game entirely because of one little thing. Tell me your experiences with this edition. If you played this edition, it is a wonderful edition. I have the original cover book, the red and black cover, on my shelf. I don't really take it out because it's one of those collector books. So I don't want to, pull that out right now. But I'll maybe put some pictures of it up later on. But I mostly just use this book. As you can see, it's shot the shit pretty much. The other one I have of this, I have a couple copies of this one. The plastic, as you can see, is kind of peeling off. That's what happens with a lot of these books from that time era. But hey, you know what? This book is what, from 1983? Yeah. Well, this is one's from 1991. But I have ones from the 80s, so anyway. We'll get into this as we're going to go through the classes of this, and we're going to go through the combat of this. We're going to go through it all. Talk about the lands. We're going to do it all. This is one book, 274 pages of fun and enjoyment. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment below, a like below. Don't forget to subscribe and share the videos. Thanks, everybody. Keep it original, keep it old school. Good night.